from DisHappyHome, your one-stop shop for all things Disney. And we're continuing with our series of 19 random Disney things for 2019. In the last couple of videos, I've already explained that this just came about from me wanting to share things that I've learned, things that I've experienced with my family during our Disney vacation trips. So the last two videos were about tables in Wonderland and about the Disney store versus the Disney parks, shopping at the Disney parks. The next thing I want to talk about is kind of along the same lines as the differences between the Disney park shopping versus the Disney store shopping. So one of those things is if you if you buy an item at the Disney parks, what happens if you have to return it? So this came about because, again, we were shopping for Christmas and we wanted to buy a train that went around the tree. My sons were extremely excited, my husband was extremely excited, but when we go home, it doesn't work. And so that got me thinking, is if I had bought this, lived in a different state, and then came home, or even lived in a different part of Florida, came home and this didn't work, how was I supposed to return this? You know, it's different when you live here, it's different when you're local, but what happens to those of us who don't live nearby? So this got me thinking, and I think this is something that I didn't know about. And so basically what happens is if you can't make it back, you would have to, on the top of the receipt, there is a phone number and an email address that you can email. And I'm going to put that in the description, just so that this is just, FYI information. Because you cannot return this item to a Disney store, because like I mentioned in the last video, they are completely two different things. They will not accept your Disney park item at a Disney store. So we were able to return ours with no problems. And again, I always think about, how to solve these types of problems, what was to happen. And what I would recommend is if you buy an electronic at the Disney parks, it is in your best interest to check that item as soon as you get to your hotel room. And for whatever reason you are, sometimes I've done this, we go to Disney Springs on our very last day, kind of killing time before our plane, just to kind of get those last minute souvenirs. And we'll buy something and then we won't even check it or open it up until we get all the way back home. And so I think it is in your best interest to check that item before you leave Florida. So I would open it up there, check it out, because you want to return it immediately. Because even though you can have the option of calling or emailing, you still have to then mail it back to them. And so that will take time. And then mailing your item back to you will also take time. So in the meantime, it just makes me feel like I've wasted money. And I have this dud item that I don't know what to do with. And sometimes, we're not diligent about returning these things. It's just like, oh, I got this thing at Disney and it doesn't work, and it's kind of sad. And then that's just kind of like a bad memory. And again, a waste of money. And so we have to kind of be really, like I mentioned in the last video, savvy shoppers. We have to be able to, see things kind of before they kind of happen. And this has never happened before. I've never bought a dud item at Disney, but I've also never bought like a big electronic, like a train. And so it was extremely disappointing when we came home and it didn't work. And I can't imagine having to wait for a train to come and then Christmas be over. So it was one of those things where I was like, oh, I would feel bad. And I want to mention that to you guys because I don't want you guys to go through those things. So tell me, have you ever bought something at Disney that didn't work? And how did you return that item? Let me know in the comments. I always feel like I can't say subscribe and ring the bell, and I always feel weird about saying those things. But again, I have to mention it because if not, all these new viewers that I have won't do it. So definitely subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the blog, www.DisHappyHome.com, DisHappyHome.com, and I will see you guys on the next time. From this happy home to yours, find happiness in whatever life